Okay, so good morning, welcome back. Today we're just having a quick introduction to turtle graphics. We've seen it sometimes before in the compete.with.code.uk activities, but I want to make sure that you understand how to draw pretty much anything in turtle graphics. Last year's Year 11s, they had a turtle graphics question in their paper too. It's quite a nice, easy one, and I quite like it. It's quite good fun. So far, almost all the stuff you've done has been text-based in the console. Turtle Graphics is a terrible graphics library. You would never use it for anything proper, as in a game library, because it's slow. But it is also a brilliant graphics library because it's designed to help visualize stuff quickly. It's deliberately slowed down so that you can see the sequence of instructions. So it's really helpful for learning. There's some stuff that you don't need to remember because you have that wonderful PLS, which guides you through how to do stuff, but you have to recognize it and know how to use it. So the idea is, in the olden days, if you wanted to teach programming, you'd have this little programmable physical turtle that had a hole punched through its shell that you put a permanent marker on, and you'd control it. You'd give it commands like move forwards, and as it moved forwards, the pen would draw something. It wasn't a real turtle, by the way, that would be creepy. And then you just simulated it on screen with a program called Logo, and then it became incorporated into the turtle module of Python. The idea is simple commands to be able to draw on screen, a combination of geometry and code. So we start off by importing the turtle library. We have to have a turtle object. At A level, you learn about object-oriented programming. We don't really talk about it at GCSE, but we just know that we have to make a variable, usually it's called T, equals the turtle module, this thing, dot turtle with a capital T. This is a turtle class to make a turtle object. I'm not going to explain that anymore. But once you've got that turtle variable, I can move it forwards, I can make it turn right, and I can move it forwards. This seems pointless to you and me because it doesn't actually ask a question, but in some versions of Python, if you didn't have that there, this program would run, and then it would end straight away before you could see your beautiful picture. So I'll pause the video. You tell me what this is going to draw. Yeah, it should just be a right angle. There we go. We always start in the middle of the screen and we always start pointing east. So we move forwards. It's this one. We turn right by 90 degrees. Boom. And then we move forwards again. That's it. We talked about the thing on line 6 already. So you can't do turtle unless you import it. We talked about that. Bloody bloody blah bloody bloody blah. Yeah, okay. Let's move on to these. You have this in CT31. All of these commands, I want you to match them up. So, for example, this one is to make a turtle object. So you just need to write down G in here. You can draw lines, but I think it's easier just to write the letters. So there's some of these that you don't quite understand yet. I want to guide you through how you can try them out. So first of all, you have to import turtle. We have to make a turtle object. That's what it means by the angular brackets turtle. So I'm just going to be lazy and say T equals. Now we're going inside the turtle module. We get to the turtle class. We make a new instance of the turtle class and we store that as T. Once we've got it, and you can call it whatever you want. It could be my turtle, but for brevity, for briefness sake, I'm going to keep it just simple. Then instead of saying turtle, I can just say T, and I can try out all of these. So I've done forwards, and it says steps. Now steps is a parameter. It expects me to say how far I'm going to go forwards. So that's what it means over here. So if you want to try out any of these, let's see, what does show turtle mean? Or hide turtle. Just shows or hides the shape. There are lots more things on here, but these are the main ones that you need. So do a little investigation. What do you think extent means with circle? Okay, so just a reminder, I haven't put a link on here to create with code. We need to be in the habit of using Thonny for this. So you'll have to find the file yourself. It's in activities and homework it should actually say, sorry, activities and homework 6, half term 6, but it is in half term 6. Let's find it, CT31, and the code snippets. I'm looking for CT31 activity 2A, this one. Fab, so we've got the Python file. Let's remind ourselves how to open Thonny. Can we drag and drop it in? No, we can't. Can we just, click and open? Yes, we can. All right, so what does the question say? We've got to do a prediction first. Hooray. Predict what the code will do. Forwards, right, forwards. We've all said that. Why don't we draw it instead? Will it work if we run it? Let's see. That's on a different screen. Here we go. So your challenge is to work through to try and create these images. You can use Pythagoras, but you don't have to. You can also teleport the title by saying t.pen up to lift up the pen, and then t.go to teleport to a certain coordinate, so then t.pd to pen down. That's probably easier than doing Pythagoras, but you can use Pythagoras because you can cope with that. And then you've got activity 3. The extension, if you get that far today, is to try and draw the Union Jack flag as a bit of a tribute to Her Majesty the Queen Elizabeth II. So work through all of these challenges, pop your screenshots in, have fun with Turtle graphics, see what you can do. Just going to go through what is in the PLS for Turtle graphics. So let's find it on here. Remember, it is searchable, so Control F, and let's search for Turtle graphics. Come on, here we go. So you don't need to remember the syntax of all of this. This is what you are given. One thing that's worth saying, Turtle graphics on Create with Code defaults to a 400 by 400 canvas. As in, it starts at -200, -200, and it goes up to +200, 200, and 0, 0 is in the middle. If you use Thonny or Moo, you can set up your canvas to be whatever size you like using window.setup. And then you've got all your normal moving around and showing and hiding. Reset is really handy because it goes back to the middle, 0, 0, and points east. This one is really helpful as well. If you're struggling to keep track of which direction you're pointing in, this is set heading. Rather than saying turn left by 90 degrees, you can say set heading to this specific compass direction. Begin fill and end fill means that you have to do begin fill before you start drawing a square, and then end fill after you finish drawing a square if you want to fill it all in. And then turtle.circle radius extent we've looked at already today. You can specify colours in all sorts of different ways. You can name them, or you can put in hex codes. So a nice little reminder of hexadecimal. What do I mean by that? So things like import turtle, turtle equals turtle.turtle, t.color spelt the American way. You can have, oops, there we go. You can have colours spelt out, but obviously you can't have slightly light red. It's not going to know what that is. But you can define it with hexadecimal, like a hash and then FF0000 is going to be red, because all of the red lights are switched on, all of the green lights are switched off, and all of the blue lights are switched off. So that's what the PLS is there to help you with. Okay, we are going to go through a couple of common mistakes. I think there's 3 big mistakes here, and we'll see if we can spot them. It's recording, so please don't shout out because I won't be able to say your name while it's recording. So I run it, and it says turtle has no attribute forwards, so it doesn't know how to move forwards. So first common mistake is I've called my file name turtle.py. Hopefully this will never happen to you in the exam, because you only ever call it something like question 5 finished.py. But if you do name anything turtle.py, when you try and import it, it will first try and load a Python file called turtle.py. So it's importing itself. It gets stuck in a forever loop. Well, it doesn't actually. It's clever enough to avoid that. But it never opens the actual turtle module. So be careful what you name your files as. So let's fix that by calling it something different. Turtle example. Similarly, you need to be careful with things like math.py or random.py, because if you name it that, you won't be able to import that module. Okay, so that's fixed that common mistake. Now it still says there's no attribute called forwards. Oh, because I've still got a turtle.py and it's trying to import it. Try again. And we still say the module turtle has no attribute turtle. Interesting. Because we need to be careful about capitalization. This is the module. And then inside the module is a class. And classes have capital letters. But we're still not right. Because it says we're missing a positional argument. Well, no, we're not. We're saying how far to move. So what on earth is wrong with this? Well, it's because this works like a function. And a function has to have the brackets in order to run. Let's try that. And then, yeah, it is running. It's just on a different screen to the one that you can see. And we should be okay there. So those are the big 3 common mistakes with Turtle. So when you've had a go at this, please save the Word document and upload it to Half Term 6, Algorithms and Programming 6. Please remember, don't rename your Word documents. Keep them with the same file name, so it's really easy for you and me to refer to. That's Half Term 6, Algorithms and Programming 6.